Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I am your host Sandman. Today I'm going to be picking a Mul-T-Lock interactive mortise cylinder. Let's break into it. So mortise cylinders have threads around them. Rim cylinders do not. Mortise cylinders are designed to thread into a mortise style case. So this would be a mortise cylinder for a mortise case. This is a dimple lock. Not all dimple locks are high security locks, but all Mul-T-Lock appear to be high security locks, especially this Mul-T-Lock Interactive. The Mul-T-Lock Interactive is going to actually have a total of 20 pins. So we have 5 outer key pins, 5 inner key pins, 5 outer driver pins, and 5 inner driver pins. And all these pins have to be set. I will accomplish this by setting the outer pins first and then the inner pins. So this has what's called a pin-in-pin technology. The key is called an interactive due to the interactive element right here. That's really just for key restriction. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward pick. If you can pick the outer pins and you have a tool that can pick the inner pins, you're good to go. I'm going to be using a rat yoke custom a dimple pick here, and I'm going to be using a data flag. I essentially bought extra flags from the data manufacturer that makes the rotary tools because I really like the shape of these flags here. It has a nice tight flag on the very tip for picking these inner key pins for the pin-in-pin technology. Let's go ahead and get this going. Actually, this is a re-upload. I actually picked this earlier today and uploaded it, but to my mistake, when I went to go upload it, I realized that the lock actually left the view of the camera for a split second as I was trying to remove the table vise. So I'm just going to pick this out of hand and we will do a gut and show the pins on the inside. Let's actually what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just get sit up here with this. The trickiest part is just trying to get the right tension wrench and get it in here at the right angle so I can have enough room to actually utilize my pick, and that's been a real struggle for me. I think that might work. Let's give it a shot. All right. Wish me luck. Nothing on 1. Movement out of 2. Going to 3. Moving out of 3. Going to 4. Moving out of 4. Going to 5. And a click out of 5. See if I can get my pick back out. Now then, before I proceed further, I want to see if I can actually continue to readjust my tensor here. So let me see if I can get this guy out. There we go. That's the angle I'm looking for. Okay, going back to pin 1. Gotta click out of the outer pin on pin 1. Pin 3, pin 4, and pin 5. I'll click out of 5. Nothing else on 5. Let's go back to pin 1. I think I need to set a little bit of that inner pin on pin 1. It's sticking up, kind of getting in the way. Okay, nothing there. Let's go back to pin 2. And I just dropped pin 1. Got to click out of 3. I think pin 3 is set. And we're at pin 5. And I dropped something just before that. Let's go back to pin 1. Good. Big click out of pin 1. We're back on 3. Good movement out of 3. Movement out of 4. And nothing really to report on number 5. Go back to 1. Okay. I was able to set inner pin on pin 1, but I released some driver pins in doing so. That was number 3. Number 4, and number 5. Number 5 is giving me some attitude. Right now I'm not trying to pick, I'm just trying to get my tool back out. So let me back off on the tension a little bit. And now I'm actually going to inadvertently try to pick pin 1 while trying to pull this pick out, because I'm already there. All right, let's just get that pick out. Let's go back to pin 1. Good, click out a 1. Click out a 2. Let's go back to 1 again. You know what? I think this is getting in my way here. Let's hold what we got. See if that helped. I think that did help. Still trying to set all these outer pins. I'm getting closer. I am in a false set. That pin 1 is really giving me some issues. It could be that I'm not on the correct binding order, which I don't have memorized. I've been picking this blind. I'm not progressively picking this lock. But I feel like I'm in a much deeper false set now. Still having issues with pin 1. Still not ready to be set though. There we go, moving out of 2. Let's go back to number 1. Yeah, number 1's binding now. Boom. Number 1 feels like it's set, at least the outer pin there. Let's go to number 2, number 3, 4. That was 4. And let's try number 5. Good. Good movement out of 5. Okay, now we're in a very deep false set. That's exactly what we're looking for. So that means all the outer pins have been set, and we are going to be looking for the inner pins that need to be set out as well. It took me 5 minutes to set all those. All right, let's start checking all the inner pins. And that's where this pick really shines, with that little nub on the front. Let's go. Number 1 feels to be set. Number 2 seems good. Number 3 seems good. Number 4 is okay. Number 5 is the culprit. And now we have an open. Check that out. I don't want to rotate this all the way because I don't want the driver pins to drop down. But now we have an open. Okay. Let's keep this guy in view. Everything still works. I didn't break anything. Picking dimple locks for me can be very fatiguing. I do appreciate though the rat yoke custom pick. It's so much more comfortable than some of the other ones that I have. I also really like the community edition dimple picks from Lock Noob. Having a much thicker handle here is so much easier on the hands, in my opinion. I am going to shim this. I do not want those inner driver pins to interact with anything from the plug. I don't want them to drop in and get bricked. Work this around. Find that sweet spot. There it is. It's not in all the way yet, though. There we go. Now it's in all the way. Great. And then we have these little side pins, and these are just for key control as well. So they interact with these little dimples on the side. Let's go ahead and knock those out. So the plug, no counter milling in the plug. Let's take a look at the core. Let's cut this. If anybody's interested in having a light up plug follower like I'm using here, I purchased this from 3D Locksport. I have yet to need to replace a battery. So that's the first 3 chambers. That's pin chamber number 5. And we're going to pull out pin chamber number 4. Okay, that's everything. We can now inspect the lock core. There's no counter milling in any of these, but we do have anti-drill pins in the front here, 3 of them. We also have anti-drill pins right here in the front of our plug. Let me get all these pins aligned and ready for an inspection. All right, let's see if we can zoom in without messing up anything. I think that's the best way to go about it, is just zooming in. Okay, from right to left, we take a look at our key pins first. So this is the outer key pin number 1, and this has counter milling. You can see the little ring on the inside that allows for this inner, excuse me, that's not for that. That's for the spool pin, the inner spool pin of my driver pins to interact with and get caught on. That's inner pin, or outer pin number 2 with counter milling, outer key pin number 3 with counter milling, outer key pin number 4 with counter milling, and then this one is actually just going to be standard. It's a mushroom spool, but this does not have any counter milling. So we do have counter milling on these first 4, and then we have just standard. No, we don't. Well, these is inner key pin number 1, 2, 3, and 5 are all spooled, but we have a standard inner key pin here for number 4. And then taking a look at our driver pins, this is mushroom spool in number 1, 3, 4, and 5, and then a standard driver pin here, but all inner pins are spooled, and these do not come out without destroying the driver pin. So that should classify this as a brown belt level lock based off of the requirements for the Mul-T-Lock Interactive brown belt. So that's all I have for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know comments down below. What are your thoughts on using this dimple flag? Do you think this is revolutionary? Do you think people should be purchasing and buying and using these? I think these make Mul-T-Lock Interactive locks super, super easy. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Mr. Sandman, bring